I'm Jessica Penne, and this is Angela Hill, and welcome back to another episode of Two Straws.
Two straws! Did you order any food? I'm getting a little famished.
Yeah, I did. It actually should be here any second.
Oh, okay.
And here we are, ladies. We have one small tiramisu.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, monsieur.
Привет!
Yeah. So, let's talk about UFC Brooklyn.
We have a really exciting stacked card coming out for UFC
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Oh,
okay.
Oh, so we actually have a guest caller today.
Do we?
Yeah, we have a random Russian fan. He was really adamant about giving us an interview. Yeah, for Two Straws. So that's how big we've gotten.
Wow, international.
Yeah, right. So
No
yeah, we're gonna talk to this guy, and he's gonna tell us about Khabib versus Ferguson. All right, hello. This is Angela Hill and Jessica Penne of Two Straws, and who are we speaking with?
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you? I am standard Russian gentleman. You might know me from such things as the Street Fighter 3.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Okay. Hello, standard Russian gentleman. So what's your take on the main event of UFC Brooklyn?
First of all, I want to say Russia is greatest country in the world, and it makes perfect sense that greatest fighter in the world happen to be from greatest country in the world. Russian wrestling is #1. No problem with state-sponsored doping, not invention of capitalist Western pigs.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting a little off topic, but let's go back to the fight. What do you think is going to happen in the main event?
In Russia, we have proverb. They say, if you are kind of man that can wrestle with bear, you are a man that can wrestle any mammal in God's green earth.
Interesting. Okay.
Where did you find this guy?
He was really adamant about being on the show. I think
We're going to work on our filtering a little bit.
I think you got in contact through Facebook.
No, it's false news. Russians do not use Facebook.
Oh, all right. Thanks for calling.
Bye. All right. Up next on the Fight Pass preliminary card, we have an interesting matchup. We have one fighter coming up, one fighter coming down in weight class. We have Rowdy Beck Rollins versus Ashlee Smith.
Very cool. This is going to be like Fight of the Suicide Girls. It's going to be...
Tattoo girl versus tattoo girl.
Tattoo girl with shaved head versus tattoo girl with shaved head that's blonde. Who will win? If you guys ever listen to AFI or watch Ink Master on TV, this is the fight for you. Don't miss it.
2 enthusiastic thumbs up.
So, I think we should play a little game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I love games. Does it involve alcohol?
It could.
All right, so for everyone watching at home, we're going to play a little game, and it is Whose Tattoo Is It?
Whose tattoo is it?
So the premise of the game is if you guess it right, you're right. And if you guess it wrong, I think you should just, chug
Take
some
a
alcohol
shot
with us. It'll make it more fun.
All right, guys, so get ready. Here we go. First one. I'm going to say Beck.
I'm going to say you're right.
And the answer is...
Beck Rollins!
Woo! No drink for you. Oh, I wanted to lose. Next one. Rebel Girl.
That sounds like Ashlee Smith, if I ever heard.
It does. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Beck, but I think I'm going to go with Ashlee, too.
And the answer is Ashlee Smith.
Yeah, oh, it's Ashlee Smith's tattoo.
That's a new one.
That is a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you're not drunk yet, we're going to do one more. Ready?
I'm going to go ahead out on a limb, and I'm going to say Ashlee Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to say Beck. I don't know. I haven't seen that tattoo on Ashlee.
And the answer is...
Oh, it's Brock Lesnar!
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Good. All right, guys, who's drunk? Good game, good game, good game. I won.
I won.
I won.
On the topic of Beck Rollins versus Ashlee Evans-Smith, we actually have on the line Beck Rollins' cornerman here to talk about her game plan of her upcoming bout. Hello and welcome. How's it going down under?
Good day, mate. Well, it's hotter than a kangaroo's asshole in the Sahara.
Oh,
that's hot.
That sounds hot.
That sounds really
sticky.
hot. Beck usually trains with us at Alliance, but this time she spent her camp in Australia. So explain to us the thinking behind that.
Well, you know, the thing about our Aussies, dingoes always going to take your baby. Or a wallaby. You know, wallaby incidents happen with children in Australia. And Beck being a mother, real big advantage for her to be in her home base. Know that you get that primal motheral instinct to protect your child from dingoes. And I think she's really going to take that with her into this fight. You know, really, she's looking to go through her like a stingray tail through Steve Irwin's heart. We know that she's a wrestler, so we're really looking to get her the kind of position where she can get on back like a koala, you know, holding on that eucalyptus tree.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
That's a
So
great game plan.
koala style fighting.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, you know, they say in Australia, the national animal is a crocodile. You arrested a crocodile in Australia, you know, you got to get your hands around its neck. And that's what we're looking to do with Beck Rollins against this Yank lassie.
Interesting. And what if that game plan doesn't necessarily work? Do you have a backup plan?
Well, you know, Beck's got a lot of sting on those punches of hers. A lot of sting. People say a lot of venom on those punches. You could say a lot of venom. More venom than most common household spiders in Australia. And let me tell you, that's a lot of venom.
That's a lot of venom.
It's a lot of venom.
Fun fact, most Australian men and women don't really live past the age of 30 years old.
Wow, I had no idea.
Because of spiders?
Yes.
Jesus.
Never going back to Australia.
No, me neither.
That wasn't in the fine print. Well,
all right, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in. We wish Beck the best of luck and hope it's a smooth training camp.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to see her perform.
Hope she turns Ashlee into that eucalyptus tree you talked about.
All right, forces, it's Australian for beer.
G'day, mate.
Goodbye, mate.
So for this matchup, we have Rowdy Beck Rollins and Ashlee Evans-Smith, and we have Beck, who has moved up from strawweight to flyweight, the newest division in the UFC, 125 pounds, and we have Ashlee Evans-Smith moving down from 135 down to flyweight. So this division is actually really exciting because you're taking, like, one of the more popular weight classes for females, and you're opening it up, and it is causing a lot of movement in the division.
Quick trivia. Name the champ of 125 division.
She won the last season of the Ultimate Fighter women's division at 125. She is Native American. She beat Roxanne Modafferi on a short notice fight.
What's her name? It's Nico something. I don't know either. Personally, I'm really excited that a few of the bigger strawweights who are really clogging up the rankings, such as JoJo Calderwood, are going to be migrating up to warmer waters. And I'll still make 115.
And the main event for the preliminary card is number 4 ranked fighter Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and she is coming up against Felice Herrig, who holds the number 8 spot in the strawweight rankings. Now this is a really interesting matchup because it is a potential title contention fight. So basically this is setting up the next opponent for whoever wins the co-main event at UFC Brooklyn, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas.
Felice is on a 4-fight win streak. She's really feeling herself. She's moved up in the rankings quite a lot in the last couple of years. And even though she's a big underdog, I think that she has what it takes to beat Karolina.
Ever since coming off of the Ultimate Fighter, Felice had a small kind of slump in the division, and she dropped in rankings and she dropped some fights. But since then, she has gone back to the drawing board. She has fixed some personal issues of hers, biological issues, and she has really come up through the rankings. She's really done it right. She has beat 4 people in a row in an impressive fashion, and Felice is no one to sleep on. I think people are still underestimating her, and that's fine because she can quiet them up on fight night.
I think one thing that puts Felice above Carolina is that she is a smart fighter. She goes in there with a game plan, and then she executes it. She doesn't really stray from it. She doesn't get too emotional when she fights, where you see, like, some people, like, say, watch Rose versus Carolina. I felt like even though Rose was the more skilled fighter, she allowed Carolina to kind of, like, take her to places that wouldn't have happened if she had stuck to the game plan that they discussed in the corner. She's in there to win the fight no matter how she has to do it. If she has to take down the striker, she will. She proved it when she fought Justine. So I feel like that's one thing that puts her above other fighters, is that she's going to be the more technical person, but she's also going to stick to that game plan and execute it.
One thing I definitely like about this matchup is that you have Carolina, who's more of like a range fighter. She does like to close the distance and stay in the clinch and throw knees, as we saw with the Rose Namajunas fight. And I see Felice going in there and trying to out-grapple her. She, I think, will take Carolina out of her comfort zone, which is the ground. She has, a great striking pedigree. However, I think Felice will pick the smart route, and she will strike, close the distance to take her down, and take her out of her comfort zone.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen too. It just sounds better when you say it.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see who wins this matchup, because it really does put the next opponent for the champion in the strawweight division into place.
I think what Carolina needs to do in order to win is just try to keep scoring those high volume combinations and moving. One thing that she can do really well is just keep punching. She doesn't seem to have like a ton of power in her strikes, but she can keep going and going and going. So that's going to be her game plan to win, I believe. But I'm going to have to go with Felice for this one as well.
I definitely see Felice kind of the dark horse of this fight, but you know what? She has really impressed me in her several outings, and I just, think this is a great time for Felice, and I'm really excited to see this matchup. I admire and respect both females, and I am really excited to see a great fight.
Yep. Let's go strawweights.
Opening up the main card of UFC Brooklyn is Mr. Alec Quintet versus Paul Felder.
We got some cool accents coming here.
We do. If you don't know, Alec Quintet is actually a realtor.
Yeah.
He sells houses.
Alec Quintet's trying to sell a house here, and then Paul Felder's just trying to buy a car.
And pack it and have it, yeah.
Yes. How do you see this going?
This is definitely an interesting matchup. We have Felder, who is, more of a Muay Thai background kind of fighter. He comes from Rufus Sport, which is a very well-rounded team, but they do really focus on striking. When we think of Rufus Sport, we think of Duke Rufus,
yes.
Mr. Muay Thai himself.
Exactly. I'm expecting Felder to throw some bows. He's definitely going to get in Alec Quintet's face, and I think we're going to see a striking match. I mean, Alec Quintet, he definitely has good wrestling. He's
good boxing.
Well-rounded, but I think he likes to stand and bang.
It's the Long Island in him.
Yeah, it's the Long Island. He's like, I'm from Long Island. I like to punch people in the face.
Fucking A.
Yeah. So another interesting fact about Alec Quintet, he's the treasurer of the Project Spearhead Union.
Is he?
Yeah, very Long Island of him,
Very, following in the mob footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, hey, pay your fucking dues and I'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Do a couple favors for me and do a couple favors for you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Otherwise, you'll be swimming with the fishes in the Long Island River or whatever river's over there.
Or in an oil drum in my mama's basement.
Exactly. See?
Right there.
You and I, we understand each other.
Hey.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Anywho, I think this is going to be a stand-up battle. Paul Felder's gotten a bunch of knockouts in his last few fights. Same with Alec Quintet, even though he hasn't been as active as Felder. And I think this is one of the fights I'm most excited for aside from the main event. Definitely don't miss this one.
Agreed.
Or you'll be sleeping with the fishes. You'll be wearing cement shoes.
Oh my god. All right, one more and you're done. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
On a house.
All right, you're done.
Alec Quintet's realty.
Done.
Oh, Oh, is this the wine that your mom suggested you get?
Did you just talk about? Don't ever talk about my mom. Ever. Love my mom.
On that note, let's talk about the Michael Chiesa fight.
Michael Chiesa is taking on Anthony Showtime Pettis, who is my former coach on The Ultimate Fighter season 20. I know him. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Pettis. He is always throwing exciting kicks from crazy angles, knees, flying things, flipping things. He's running off the cage. He is a human highlight reel. I'm always rooting for this guy. He's had a bit of a rut. He's, again, you know, had a few losses. He's moved down in weight, moved back up. Guys, not always, you know, switching divisions because of weight is the answer, and Anthony definitely found that out. So he is back up to a much more natural weight class at 155 pounds, and he is taking on Michael Chiesa.
I'm really excited for Pettis. I feel like this is going to be the fight that he comes back and reminds all the new fans why he was such a big deal when we were on the show. I mean, it's been a total, like, 180 his career has taken. When we were on the show, what was that, 2014?
It was about 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago, we were both on the show together. Pettis was coaching against my coach, Gilbert Melendez. And, you know, he was just one of the biggest stars in the game. He was on the Wheaties boxes.
First mixed martial artist to ever grace the front of a Wheaties box. He had numbers of endorsements and sponsors. And, I mean, the sky was the limit. And I think fight fans are so fickle, and they sometimes forget how talented fighters are and how, you know, some things can take you out of your game and things can change and you just get into a rut. Sometimes there are tough matchups. There are tough matchups for everyone in this sport. No one is exempt from a tough matchup.
Exactly. And he wasn't fighting, you know, cans. He wasn't fighting easy matchups that were like handpicked for him. He was fighting the cream of the crop, and unfortunately he lost a few in a row and started to lose that I guess fan power that he had when we first met him. So I'm really excited for this one just because I know how talented he is, and you know, I just think that he has more skills than Chiesa does.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always rooting for Anthony Pettis. He was an amazing coach. I think he's an amazing person, a brilliant fighter, and I'd like to see him get back to his winning ways. And next, we have the co-main event. We have the strawweight strap up for grabs against former champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk and the new champion Rose Namajunas. If you are not aware at home, I have previously fought for the belt against JJ, and Angela Hill has fought current champion Rose Namajunas.
And we both lost.
We did.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. You know, we've pretty much all let go. It's not a big deal anymore. We're over it.
We're
totally over it. Totally over it.
Yeah, but, you know, Rose's dog looks like a rat. We have ourselves an immediate rematch. Some people love it, some people hate it, but hey, it's a thing and it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. There's nothing we can do about it. Personally, I think that this fight's gonna go exactly how the first one went. But I definitely think Rose is gonna have her number on the striking. Joanna's chin is gonna get hit again. It's gonna get tested again. She's gonna drop again. Because it's not something that you can fix in a matter of months. Like, people say, oh, Joanna showed up and she was cocky and this and that. But when you look at the fight, it's not like her hands were down and she was taunting or doing anything like that. She was alert. Her hands were up. She was ready. She was backing up. And then she got surprised by a punch. And the way that Rose moves, she's a very dynamic striker with a lot of movement, a lot of footwork. So Joanna's just going to get surprised again, whether it happens in the first round or the last.
All right, so we have a really quick turnaround for this rematch against JJ and Rose. The reason being is JJ, the former champion, feels that she had a really bad weight cut, which made it really difficult, and she didn't recover from it, and that was what made her chin susceptible to getting knocked out. However, like, this is a real issue, and this is why we talk about the movement within the divisions, and the bringing in of the flyweight division is so important, because we have people who are cutting a ton of weight to make straw weight. Nobody wants to go up a division. It's difficult. I speak from experience. I'm coming up from 105 pounds to 115. It's a huge jump. So when you have somebody that is constantly cutting so much weight, and then not to mention getting in wars, JJ has been dropped in at least 3 of her bouts. And all of her fights have pretty much gone to the distance in, say, the last 4 fights.
Yeah, and she's also training really hard. She trains mainly with guys, at least she did before she fought Carla, and she posted that video where she's literally taking a bunch of punches to the head while she's trying to punch the guy in the head. Like, the girl's probably been knocked out a lot more than we've seen on tape. You know, so you start to see that take a toll on them, and especially when they're cutting so much weight. She's still going to have to cut a lot of weight to make 115, even if the weight cut isn't going to be as hard on her as the last one.
I'd have to agree with you. I think she is a fantastic striker. She is very dominant in this division. She has a great striking pedigree. She is large in the division, and she's been dominant for some time, but I think all of that abuse on her body, whether it be during the fight or before she got to the fight with the weight cuts and the hard training, I think it's definitely taken on its toll. And I think it might not be a bad idea to move up in a weight class to something a little bit healthier, and that puts a lot less stress on your body. People don't talk about, like, the duration that you should be waiting after having a head injury. Getting knocked out is a serious thing. We don't even know how long you have to wait, but I always say a safe amount of time is about a year. Frankie Edgar just got knocked out for the first time. He's been in huge 5-round wars, championship battles with other people, going toe-to-toe with people. That kind of damage that you accumulate over time is only going to catch up with you.
And I think that she knows she's not going to be able to make the weight for a long time, so she's going to try to get that strap back while she can still make the weight. She sees that she could do the Conor McGregor, get the strawweight belt, get the flyweight belt, and it's going to be to her detriment, I think.
JJ is definitely set on her legacy, which I completely respect, but at what cost?
With that said, what do you think JJ has to do to win this fight?
JJ has to put pressure on Rose. She has to cut off the ring. She has to protect herself. She has to stay tight and throw those straight punches down and cut off the ring, keeping Rose from using her superior footwork.
We have seen that one of Rose's weaknesses is also the clinch. She's able to get kind of caught up on the fence. She doesn't really like to clinch. She prefers to have her space where she can pick people off, and then maybe if she does get clinched up, she tries to, like, get some type of takedown or something like that. So she definitely doesn't like when people are touching her unless it's on the mats, and that's where she seems to feel most comfortable. So that's another route to victory for Joanna. If she can keep her pinned against that fence in the Muay Thai clinch, then that's a possible way that she can win as well. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this this strawweight fight. Like, yeah, I think Rose is gonna keep it, but either way, the whole strawweight division's gonna go. Oh wait, look at that!
What time is it?
It's Khabib time. All right, time to eat some tiramisu.
Woo! It actually helps your weight cut when you do this.
It's like binge and purge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It helps flush the system.
It's good fats. Good healthy fats, so your body doesn't hold on to it.
In the middle layer are complex carbs.
Yes.
Woo! All right.
And finally, we come to the main event. We have Tony Ferguson taking off Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov. And I can't tell you, actually I can tell you, how long I've been waiting for this fight to happen.
Yeah, it's this is the 4th time the fight's been booked.
4th time.
Yeah, I think 2 times Khabib pulled out, 1 time Ferguson pulled out. So finally, I mean, hopefully before we finish editing this, the fight will still be on.
Please.
So I'm really excited about this fight.
Max Holloway
is just so good everywhere. Like, he's not just a grappler, he's not just a striker, he's an everythinger, and he probably does it the best out of everyone else in the UFC. I think one of the other people who are kind of up there with just like being well versed and well rounded is like maybe Max Holloway.
I am a fan of Tonax.
Max Holloway.
However, I think that his style against Khabib is going to be suffocated. This matchup is very intriguing because we have a very dynamic, versatile fighter, and then we also have a very straightforward, in-your-face fighter in Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm looking for Khabib to close the distance and put pressure on
Max Holloway
constantly. I see this fight with Khabib and Tony being a very close fight, in the sense that they're going to close the distance and he's not going to allow
Max Holloway
to use any of his tricky moves.
And then Khabib, when he gets you where he wants you, he talks shit. Like, he tells you you're nothing. He talks to Dana. He talks to, like, you know, the commentators on the side. Like, he lets everyone know that he's barely trying. That's one of the really scary things about Khabib. We don't even know if we've seen 100% Khabib. It could just have been 30% Khabib a la Usman. So I'm definitely expecting to see Tony have to pull out all the stops when it comes to his funky movements, but I feel like he could worm his way out of those like tight positions and end up outscoring Khabib, and maybe even taking one of those takedowns and using it to set up a submission.
I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. This is MMA. Anything can happen, and that's what makes all of the matchups extremely exciting. I really hope this fight happens. I've been waiting for what seems like years, and it actually has been years. So I'm excited to finally see this fight.
Me too. All right, so that's our take on
Holloway
versus Nurmagomedov. And to all you parents out there, it's Khabib time. Do you know where your kid at? Get it because of the show?
No.
Where your kid at? My name is Angela Overkill Hill.
And I'm Jessica Penny. And thank you so much for joining us on our second episode of Two Straws. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Probably going to have to cut a lot of this.
Not as much as Joanna, though.